how his bottom line would be affected by those electing to take a knee wearing a Dallas Cowboy uniform. And that is not something he would allow. And said, anybody that does that for me, they won't be a Cowboy. Because what the public perceives about you, particularly the public attached to supporters or actually supporting your brand, matters. And that's why you saw guys locking the arm. That's why it was such a miracle, such a huge, huge moment to see a Southern boy like Jerry Jones get on the field and take a knee with his players after the president had called them a bunch of a-holes. This is serious business. But make no mistake, it's about business. And Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, when they're looking at Ezekiel Elliott, they're like, you've messed with our bottom line. Who do you think you are? Now, we understand you've helped us win games. You're a two-time leading rusher. Our audience loves you. Our patrons love you. But this dude, Dak Prescott right here, ain't missed a game. Hasn't had one off-the-field incident in his professional career. Has been a leader for this franchise, a face for this franchise, a model citizen for this franchise. Yeah, we might be trying to get him to sacrifice because we don't want to pay him Aaron Rodgers money, not even Carson Wentz money. Excuse me. But they know they're going to have to pay that brother. And guess what? He could be at the negotiating table arguing it. And the only argument they would have is that we got to pay other players and we ain't trying to set a new market with you, but we want to get you paid. In the case of Ezekiel Elliott, they may feel the exact same way. But could you imagine how put off they've been about him trying to force their hand? They ain't playing. And I got news for you. You think the Cowboys are bluffing. I think it's a better chance Ezekiel's bluffing than the Cowboys are.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
In for Stephen A. today. Baseball season rolls along. Tune in tomorrow as Aaron Judge of the Yankees hosts the Red Sox. Presented by Indeed. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. This player resume is brought to you by Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Now, Stephen A. not able to do his radio show today. He's traveling because he just had this interview with Carmelo Anthony out in Los Angeles. We played clips of that interview earlier in the hour. You can go to ESPN.com right now and be able to check it out. But, El, you had a question that we didn't have time to ask Stephen A. earlier as it relates to what Carmelo really, really wants here.
Well, I mean, Carmelo did a lot of talking about just the love of the game, wanting to play for the game, and if not to play for a championship, just to play to get his love of the game back because he loves the game. So if you love the game, do you love the game enough to go play on the Big Three? Or Greece? Or China? Go team up with Lance Stevenson or Stephon Marbury if he's still doing his thing.
The Big Three.
What? Why?
You want to see Carmelo in the Big Three?
This whole thing is about humbling yourself, right? And showing the humility of... There's some big names in the Big Three. I didn't mean to laugh. There are some...
But you did, though.
There are some
quite audibly
names that were big names at the time they were NBA, currently in the Big Three.
It's not about still being able to play basketball because you can just do that anywhere. He wants to play in the NBA. And what he really, really, really wants is to be on a team that has a chance of winning a championship. That's what he really, really, really wants.
But that's not any of what he said.
No, that is what he didn't say he wanted to play in the Big Three either. He didn't say that, right? The question is, if you are a team of that ilk, do you want to take Carmelo on your team? Here's a question. If you're the Timberwolves, if you're the Grizzlies, if you're the Nuggets, now Nuggets are too good. I'm trying to think of teams that down, like if you would you really call Carmelo and expect him to play in your squad? And if you're Carmelo, do you answer the phone? Like you said, I can't make one team out of 30. All right, but how many of those 30 you really want to play for?
Could he go back to the Knicks? What? Listen, if you're trying to sell some tickets, right? You're trying to sell some tickets.
They don't have a problem selling tickets in New York. That's not their issue. They sell plenty of tickets.
Okay.
That's not their issue. Their issue is fielding a team that's capable of making a run towards the playoffs, which they hadn't been able to do in forever.
Okay, the Suns then. Could he go play on the Suns?
He
Why
could.
not?
He could. But I'm saying, if you're the Suns, what value is there in adding Carmelo Anthony to your squad? And if you're Carmelo Anthony, what does it do for you to go play for Phoenix?
The love of the game.
The love of the game, so you don't have to play in the Big Three.
The love of the game. The sheer love of the game. And who doesn't love playing basketball in the epicenter of basketball? Phoenix. What? I'm just saying. Okay, go to Memphis. Go to the Magic are a playoff team. Like, there you go.
What about the Hawks?
We'd take them.
He could play in
was a
Washington.
Hawk.
Wizards. He's from Baltimore.
There
I mean,
you
that's like
go.
going home. Go
See?
play with Bradley Beal and John Wall. What's up with that?
Go
I don't
back
know.
to Syracuse. Does he have any college eligibility left?
He does not. Coming up next hour here, Ryan Clark, more on the NFL. We got the new rule, pass interference. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN app.
Innovate and grow. That's how Nebraska Furniture Mart's 82 years have transformed us beyond furniture into America's largest home furnishing store. And we're celebrating our anniversary with a